Two-man booth. Yo, what's going on? Welcome back to another episode of the Wrestle Purists podcast. Hosted by myself and Joe Hulbert. Manny the Hooper will be arriving shortly. Chris Oldbread, I'm not sure where he is and when he's arriving, but hopefully, he was booked. But you know what his Wi-Fi is like, so we'll see what happens with him. Isra won't be making it today, unfortunately, but she will be on one very, very, very soon. So that explains two-man cast. Get that out of the way straight away. But yeah, a lot of news. We've got a Dynamite review to do. We had to go live even though we was waiting for people to show up. But, we've only got like an hour and 15 before Ring of Honor starts, And I want to watch it. It's not that I don't want to go head-to-head with it and lose viewership. I want to watch it myself, But yeah, man, a lot of stuff going on. Obviously, the big CM Punk news about plans being... starting to get put in place for him to return. A lot of people were kind of assuming this anyway. There's been kind of some clarification on Kenny Omega regarding him and being in discussions for a new contract deal with AEW. And, of course, the AEW Dynamite review. But first things first, please like, subscribe, super chat if you're feeling so generous. It's always appreciated. And Joe, two-man booth, bro.
Yeah. Feeling a little bit.
I think this is the first
for the flagship, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
In the olden days, we did a couple of these, but I feel a little bit like Paul Roma in '93, which is a very timely reference for everyone at home. And I'm not sure you was looking for my face today on this show. Lots happened today. You was probably not thinking, I'd like to see what Hulbert's got up his sleeve. Probably not what you was thinking, but here I am nonetheless.
I always got to hear what the Hulbert's saying.
Well, yeah, but I'm better as like, a side dish, You still need...
I don't know, man.
Today I'm going to have to be the steak. Very, very difficult. But nonetheless, I'm here.
Here's the thing, with the big Punk news, the trend with the Wrestle Purists podcast has been you have Ayo slandering him. You have Punk you have Ibu just like, you have Ibu going crazy. You've got, you've got all these characters going on with it. Today, it's talking of characters. We got the miserable Hooper.
Oh, no.
Bro, what's up with you, man?
Look, man, I don't know. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Look, man, there's some shit going on, bro. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, that's what happens when your car breaks down and you're waiting for a shop and you're waiting for rides.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just chilling in the car right now.
Oh, okay. You're on the move. So we got Charlie in the live chat. He might have to be I'm sending her a link, and if she can make it, she can make it.
The Brits ready again, folks.
Oh, listen, bro. Manny's stranded somewhere.
God, it's incredible. That's the real thing. He's actually stranded. That's incredible.
Chris is. I don't know what Chris is doing, bro.
I feel like Kevin Owens.
Where's my DMs? Where's that chart? Where's Chucky? Link has been sent Chucky.
You called him Kevin Owens rather than your usual name for Kevin. You usually call him something different. Why is that, man? Has he escaped that term these days?
Nah, man, there's a lot going on right now. I don't really have time for my bits.
See, people are claiming in the live chat that Chris is scared of CM Punk. And, it's a coincidence that when the big CM Punk news happens, he disappears, It's like that time when Manny disappeared for the Mania week show that we did,
That
coincidence.
That was worse,
right now,
actually. Yes, Manny?
All right, let's
nobody really cares about what I'm doing, but I was so stranded, man. I went into a computer store and I told a guy, "Can you break down to me what a desktop is?" And I was trying to see if I can buy a gaming computer.
What for?
Wow.
Don't say games. Because that would have been the money answer.
How was that story tied to you being stranded? Now I'm interested. You were so stranded you did that. Why?
Because I was just like, man, I need to do something, and I almost left with the gaming PC.
Oh, okay. Oh, here we go.
Cost me it would have cost me
I can't stay. I gotta
with the gaming PC.
Oh, okay.
I got a lot.
Oh, here we go.
I got a lot of work to do today and shit. But I called this nigga Chris like 10 times, bro. His phone dead. I don't know what happened to him. So I don't know, man. Maybe he's smoking crack. What's going on with Manny?
He's stranded.
Oh, man,
this echo's crazy.
God bless. I'm out of here.
You see how AO always got to look after his kids, bro? Chris and Rob. He's always coming in here. He's like, I don't know what happened to Chris, man. You know, big AO ain't got to do these things, man. You know? I don't know where Chris is. AO don't know where Chris is. No one knows where Chris is. But yeah, listen. Let's actually do what we was meant to do today. You know, let's talk some wrestling. All right, CM Punk, the latest update. So according to Fightful Select, the latest update is the working plan is for him to return in Chicago on June 21st at the Wintrust Arena, or at least very close to around that date. It may get announced him coming back ahead of time, or at least heavily hinted on the May 17th show. Charlie is here, a real professional. You see how quickly she shows up, you know? She gets the call. And she's here,
the
you know?
British team is here.
The whole crew.
On tonight, so
Listen, when I see some of the Wrestle Purist family in the live chat, I know they're ready, you know? Because if you're watching this, you can't be doing anything too important, you know? No.
Got back from IKEA like half an hour ago, so
fair. Alright. Okay, so Punk's return might get announced ahead of time. The May 17th show has been circled. Punk apparently wants to work with the Elite not so keen. Punk has been trying to push for a meeting between all parties to kind of talk things out and, you know, air grievances, etc., etc. There has been a meeting planned between Punk and Jericho. There is word of a soft roster split. Talent have not been informed to it. That's obviously regarding the rumors floating around about the Saturday evening show. Obviously, there's been rumors about the Saturday evening show kind of being like the CM Punk show, you know, and doing a soft roster split. So there is word floating around about that. But as far as Talent being informed about it, that has not been the case as of yet. So we'll see what goes on with all that. But the wheels are really spinning with Punk, man. You know, it's a lot of people have kind of assumed it for at least like a few weeks now, you know. But it's all really starting to like come out there, you know, and it's like this thing's really picking up steam now. And they announced the Chicago date yesterday, the Wintrust Arena date, which I just mentioned on June 21st. Like they dropped the flyer on that, and obviously that came after a CM Punk report dropped yesterday, you know, and it's like we get 2 in 2 days, and it's like there's a Chicago show announced in between it, and it's, you know, we're cooking, the wheels are turning. So Charlie, fresh on the pod, are you excited to see CM Punk? Have you forgiven him?
I mean, I'm excited to see what happens as long as it doesn't all go to shit again. But I think it'll be interesting to see like the live fan reaction, because obviously Twitter's a bubble. It's not really real. So like all the reactions today I've been ignoring for the most part because it's just been awful on Twitter. But I'm interested to see. Yeah, I'm interested to see like the live reactions, especially if they do bring him back on June 21st. Because you know he's just going to get a hero's welcome. And everything that's been going on for months, it's just not going to matter in the grand scheme of things. So
I'm with you. I don't think it is going to matter too much, you know. Like you said, like you just said, Twitter's kind of like, it's just a bubble, you know. And so you'll see like the same 20 people who can't stand Punk, and they weren't accepting coming back, and it's a disgrace that he's coming back, and they've all tweeted about it 500 times today. So you know, you see a lot of that kind of vibe on the timeline. But like you said, when he comes back in Chicago, place is going to explode for him. So it is what it is. But you've kind of retired from the Punk discourse, it seems. But like now we've actually now there's actually like a real report. You're back in the game.
Well, I think it's an interesting conversation to have when it comes to the actual wrestling that Punk is eventually going to produce. I retired more from like the back and forth as to whether or not he should have been arrested, apologized, done this, that. I mean, to me, it's like they've got to figure that out themselves. I can't worry about these things. But from a wrestling point of view, I think it's very interesting because, to me anyway, I think it would make a lot of sense for his run to be different in a whole range of ways, just purely in terms of usage, right? Like the first time around, he wrestled an awful lot. And eventually the result of that was this idea that he was like climbing the ranks almost. Remember that kind of run he had before the Hangman match where it was like he would wrestle weekly against. Now, I think there's a lot Punk can offer, but personally, I don't think there's any reason for him to be the world champion ever again. I think that's not the right spot for him at this point. He should be an attraction and a legend. So with that in mind, I'm intrigued as to kind of his weekly usage. Like, I don't know if it makes a lot of sense to have him out there just wrestling for the sake of wrestling after the last couple injuries. I think the best approach would be figure out, 5 to 6 guys that he would like to have a real program with and try to find an actual conflict and do those in a manner that he kind of did with the Max one is different because that was such an epic thing. You're not going to recreate that often. What he did with Kingston, for example. That was like a 3-week turnaround. I think you have 4 big-time pay-per-views. You have, obviously, Forbidden Door's different. And you've got a lot of TV specials. I think if you tried to get like 6 names that he can work real programs with, I think that could add a lot to the show. I mean, I think it would be a mistake to immediately go back to like the show is built around him, which again, maybe that's where Collision comes in.
Yeah.
But I think undeniably he can do a lot. He can produce great pro wrestling. He's done that, in the last couple of years, and we've seen it. It's a matter of adjusting to what his new role is going to be and figuring out the guys that are going to play ball with him and so on and so forth. And to be clear, we don't need to get into the discourse part of it, but you're never going to hear me do the thing of like, if they don't want to work with him, it's like, I get it, there's a lot of people I don't want to work with, and they didn't punch me in the face. I understand it completely. I have no intention of being like that guy. It's just so dumb to me. If you don't want to work with him, that's fine. But there are people that will, obviously, that goes without saying. Yeah. It's like, so you can use him in that way. You've got a big roster. You've got you're about to have, 5 hours of TV, it looks like. Actual TV, not including dark and such. It's like, CM Punk can help. So, this, I think that's the real interesting thing there is how you make that happen.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they play it because, there's going to be people that want to work and people who want to play the music, that CM Punk's going to play. And, he's going to... I kind of like the idea of him having the Saturday night show, WCW Saturday nights, with the Punk guys.
I'm torn on it because as a fan, it pops me. But I will say, I think you need to make sure it's a really soft split because that to me sounds like you're just asking your audience to be actually split and have like a genuine. Because back when they would do Raw and SmackDown, the audience wasn't like, there wasn't like, no one actually cared. If you did that thing genuinely, I've seen what people do, man. People would be animals. You'd have like Collision banners everywhere. It'd be outrageous. People would be rioting at Dynamite.
It's gonna be horrible.
It would be. So you got
really split. Yeah. Every time the Elite come out, they start throwing trash at them.
Yeah, man, crazy.
You'd have like announced from Collision spoiling results and stuff. Go on, Manny.
Manny, the prophecy, man.
Sammy Guevara comes out and people start throwing La Sombra masks and all that. Like, collision. Some flares like soccer games,
Well, Manny, you fired up though. You fired up for Punk stuff. Chicago.
Of course.
The prophecy's been fulfilled.
The Pepsi erection, man. Just what it is. He's coming back.
I hate that.
Oh, when he tweeted the Pepsi erection yesterday, like 3 people immediately messaged him like, bro. You gotta slow down a bit of that one. Oh man.
Imagine he gets like that big hero pop and you're the Elite in the back. You're like, bro, he's the villain. Like, what is he like? What is he getting this hero pop and all that?
In the back.
or being like the rest of the talent in the back, finding out that you're gonna have like a real Raw SmackDown thing going down. You're like, what the hell? Where am I gonna be working? Am I gonna be working Wednesdays or are my Saturdays gone now?
My Saturday's gone now. I will say, in terms
this is gonna be fun.
The Heroes Welcome part of it, I do think is interesting. Like, how you present him as a TV character is really, in a lot of ways, the most kind of bizarre part of this to kick around because we all agree on the first night, right? Like, he's going to get a huge pot on night one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know if you can have him, how do I put this? you know, when he first came in, he had those kind of like the first couple months, as much as I enjoyed them, he was doing like, you know, welcome to the show promos, right? Like, here we are. I don't know if people want him to do that at this point in the game. I mean, that would probably be the wrong. It's like,
man. It's CM Punk, bro. It's
he could pull it off, but I'm just saying, I think, you know, it's going to be interesting what the direction they decide in terms of his like presentation itself. Is he going to be is he going to lean into being a heel? Is he going to be not even there will not no reference to he'll just be back as a babyface? Like, I don't know. I mean, that part of it is kind of. I think he'll just be Punk, and he'll let the people decide. Right? He'll just be him. Which
I think it'd be quite funny if he came back and just pretended none of it happened, just ignore everything. It'd be hilarious because people are so ready to like choose a side over it all, and it's like if they just come back and pretend nothing's happened, it's quite funny.
I think that's the most likely scenario, though. Like as crazy as it sounds, I don't think based on what we've seen thus far, we're going to get like an on-screen follow-up, and it's again, I have no problem with that. I'm just if you're not going to follow up at all, then what do you do, right? Like, is he just going to come out and have a heel feud? I mean, and you know, the Jericho thing came up, right? The idea of a Jericho meeting and them working, and the problem with that is there's no way to do that feud without it inevitably becoming, you know, work shoot, and then you open that can of worms, then you're in all sorts of trouble, and it's, you know, it's going to be very, very tough. Interesting to me.
When I saw Jericho's name there, man, I just knew it. I just knew he wanted to be the center of it. And he wanted to be the guy to be like, I saved AEW. Look, I brought everybody together.
Jericho knows how to play these games, bro. It's what he does, you know. It's what he does. He's going to put himself in the best position possible, always, you know. And if he can be the guy that's, you know, he sees the reports, brother, you know. He sees the reports. He sees the elite not so keen to work with Punk. He sees the fans want him back and all this and that. He's already going back on his word on podcast saying AEW is going to be sweet with him or without him. Not long ago, he was saying, I won't allow him around this locker room, you know? Like when it was narrative and beneficial to him to kind of be like the CM Punk hater and I wave the flag of AEW, that's what he was doing. And now that Punk is obviously coming back and, you know, he needs people to work with, Jericho's there, man. Jericho's right in the thick of it. It's what he does. It's what he does. At some level, I respect it, but I was saying yesterday, man, I'm not trying to see Jericho versus Punk. I'm not.
No, I'm not sure really Punk is either.
Yeah, I don't think Punk is either. And it's like you get that you alluded to it just now, Joe, about how it will like inevitably like slide into a work shoot, and it's like, bro, Punk will like do some unspeakable things, Chris Jericho, with live mics and you know,
on a wrestling show. You don't want to hear dueling Judas and Cult of Personalities chants going back and forth. Imagine
I don't think that's how it would go down.
Personality
dueling singing the song.
Wait, what's the name of the song?
No, that's not. But I just loved it. That's what you. That was your immediate take on what people would chant to CM Punk. Cult of Personality.
All right, we've got a couple super chats. Keep them coming though. We always appreciate. Paul 199 says, "The British are coming. The British are coming. We're here, man. We're not coming. We're already here, brother. You know, we've landed." Darren Cage 499, appreciate you. They need to put the belt on Sting and have him work on a 6-month program with Samoa Joe. That would be real great. Some would make me cry real hoop tears. I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. Sting's a man, bro.
Genuinely insane to think those two guys feuded for a world title in 2008. And at that point, it was like, yeah, Sting's winding down. You know, he's in his last couple of years here. Like, here he is. You know? He's more relevant now, I think. It's incredible. But yeah,
he's great, man. Everyone loves Sting. Jacob, $5, appreciate you. The best spot for Punk is in a Jericho type role on TV. Still in top stories, but not chasing for the world championships. Maybe a TNT or trios title.
I think Jericho type role is on the right track. I don't know about the belts. I don't know about the latter part of it, but again, I think you need to kind of get creative with feuds and guys that he could elevate while beating. Because let's be honest, if you're doing all of this Spring Punk back, he's not going to be losing like every month. It's just not happening, and it shouldn't, honestly.
Yeah, of course.
Like for example, like you need to find the type of guy who would genuinely benefit from having a real program with Punk, even if they don't beat him. One that I would like to see while we're just talking this, I think Now, this is a guy I think Punk would, you'd try and convince Punk to put over eventually. But if the Juice Robinson thing is short-lived, which I hope is, I think Jay White and CM Punk could have a hell of a match. I think they would do some really good stuff together. That would be one you'd ideally like Punk to put over, right? But
yeah,
like, even if they split a series 1-1 the way he did with Max, I think that'd be huge for Jay. So there's names, and I like the Jericho comp on some level. Obviously, there's issues.
I think Punk could get some good music out of House of Black. I'm not gonna lie.
I think you'll get that. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And that's probably where you'll get the FTR stuff too, right? You probably get that like BW match on TV.
What?
Oh, get over it, Charlie.
I didn't know that was like hinting at something. It was very ominous. I looked over my shoulder. I was like,
He's just a hater,
I get it. I think if he's going to feud with if he's going to fight, feud with Malachi or Brody, I feel like you'll probably get that trios match in some.
Yeah.
Even if just as a TV, but we'll see.
Who else would we like to see him work? I actually would like to see him work Malachi. That is something that just kind of intrigues me.
Interesting.
I think there's still stuff to do with Darby for sure.
Yeah, easy.
That's something you should go back to. Trying to think of other ones. He's going to work with Adam Cole at some point because Adam Cole is the one wrestler everyone likes. That will happen.
Sweet guy.
It'll be good, I'm sure. Yeah, I haven't got a problem with that. There's a handful we just did there. I mean, if we're going to sit here and pop ourselves, Samoa Joe wouldn't be bad. Give us a little 15-minute greatest hits version of their matches. That could be fun. Maybe do it in a big stadium in London.
That's the real music right there.
Yeah.
Samoa Joe, Punk, Wembley. I think that might be a new agenda for me to push.
Oh yeah,
because the Jey Uso thing, it popped me for like.
You give up on that really quick, yeah. you give up on that in like 48 hours.
Yeah, I think that was just how I dealt with instead of lashing out about Cody losing, I was just like, all right, Jey Uso,
You realised it's absolutely not happening. It was just like, oh, whatever, give up.
Yeah, then Tony announced Wembley. Oh, it happened.
Yeah.
We had a moment.
The big man
week.
TK,
Monty and I had a moment this week where I messaged him on Tuesday morning. I was like, man, that Usos match. And he replied, didn't watch it. I was like, whoa, what happened here? I was like, that's not happened before. I have not referenced the Raw match.
I got to it, man. It was good shit, bro. It was very good shit. I fucking love the Usos. It's just, I ain't doing these 3-hour Raws, man. I done the Mania season. I thought I was going to get rewarded at the end and just smack me in the face,
Yeah.
Happened, bro. Then like after when you get out of a toxic relationship and people jump into the next one, it's like I was heartbroken by the whole Cody losing thing, and then TK comes and saves me with Wembley. That's how it played out, bro. I don't know what to tell you.
Dear.
But yeah, I got Wembley to look forward to, and now TK is delivering. He's delivering again. Got Chicago feel coming back. It's the shit I need, bro. I need. I'm moving on. Moving on. It's like Ibu will message me about like the Brock Lesnar stuff.
We need some real dudes back in this company.
Yeah. All right. A couple more super chats. Custodian, always appreciated. $1.99. Punk versus Custodian. Go to sleep versus go to sleep. That's a good one. That's a creative one for you. I'll give you.
Yeah.
Manson84, $1.99. Appreciate you. Swerve, Punk, Jay, Punk needs to. Swerve versus Punk, Jay versus Punk needs to happen.
Two good shouts.
Yeah, man. Yeah, both of them. Jay White is like pretty high on the list. It seems. I've seen his name pop up a few times in the live chat. Obviously, we've already mentioned him. Yeah, man, Jay White, Punk, it seems to make a lot of sense, But yeah, Punk versus Starks will be a brilliant feud. Punk likes Starks a lot, so that wouldn't surprise me at all. And obviously, as long as they can keep Starks heated up as a babyface and stuff, they can definitely,
Yeah.
Big if. Big if.
I'm going to say they're off to a great start.
Yeah. All right, this. These are the matches I'd book, so I can't put them down.
Yeah,
Man, Punk ain't touching Goldberg with the pole.
absolutely not. Yeah,
He wouldn't. He wouldn't. Imagine Tony pitching that.
Christ.
he
You'd
might
rather
pitch
work.
it. To be fair, he might.
Bro,
I don't know,
yeah,
man.
Tony's a sicko, bro. It's always the big
Imagine
man.
convincing one of them they have to lose.
Yeah.
You ask Goldberg to lose to
No,
CM
he's
Punk,
just gonna
he
be like,
would
look what he did to Brett.
outraged.
Oh.
We need to. You know what? You got to pick your battles with Goldberg, and the battle I want to fight for Goldberg putting someone over is Darby Allin.
Yeah.
We get Sting. We get Sting to vouch. No, you get Sting to vouch. You
You
get.
can get Sting to do whatever. He ain't doing it. It would be awesome. Darby is like 150 pounds, man. Goldberg would need him to have a gun or something to do a job to him. Man. He's not. He ain't laying down to the coffin drop. Again, I think it would be great, but believe it when I see it. Unfortunately,
That's the one. That's the one. I'm eyeing up.
Mhm.
They ain't got to have a match, but Goldberg just needs to let Hook hit him with the suplex, and I'll be happy.
Yes, I'm with
That
you.
would be cool. All right, Darren Walker, £2. Appreciate it. Punk versus Jarrett be feud of the year. You want to know the worst thing is? Like, it's disgusting, but like, if those two were like allowed some room to cook, I'd absolutely be coming on the podcast every week and putting it up and talking about real wrestling and then fucking
Imagine that. Imagine
real
that feud
punches.
for the NWA World Title.
Why the end? We've got Ring of Honor money, man. We don't need it. Money just wants that £10 of gold, bro.
Well, we got our own world's title going on over there. We can't mess it up. Eddie's going for the big one.
The big
He
one.
is. He needs to win it, bro.
He
I
will.
will be there no matter what. All right. Ricky, 199. No Rob to do the voice tonight. Appreciate it. Me versus Punk. Winner gets to keep more Ibu.
Jesus.
I'll let him know. Ibu won a pole match.
I think he was in the live chat.
Big Hero Chris, $5. Appreciate you. Punk and FTR got to get revenge on Goldberg for Brett. See, man, the stories write themselves.
God, that'd be
You can
incredible.
shake your head, Joe, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? Andrew the Giant, £2. Another one for the Punk versus Jarrett crew. Appreciate you. Far4222, $5. Appreciate you always. Punk versus Adam Cole for the love of Britt Baker. Yeah, that's spiteful, Adam Cole's a sweet man,
Adam Cole is a great guy.
He's a good guy, Punk is a married man, He's put that lifestyle behind him, He's retired. Another one from Andrew the Giant, £4. Appreciate you. As soon as I typed Punk versus Jarrett, I thought someone else has definitely suggested this first, and I was right. You was, man. But we appreciate it anyway, brother. We appreciate it anyway. All right, Punk's coming back.
Yes,
The Elite
I
ain't
heard
gonna
that.
work him at first. All right, this is the last thing I'm gonna ask. Do you think, Charlie? I'm looking at you right now. Do you think if Punk comes back and behaves himself, they will warm to the idea of working with him?
I think they'd come around eventually, yeah. I think it's not going to happen this year, but maybe eventually. Once they get all the contract stuff out of the way and he comes back and settles in, and if there's no problems and everything goes smooth sailing, they might be more open to it, yeah.
Yeah, hopefully he doesn't call Hangman Adam Page a fucking idiot again,
Yeah.
That could happen any moment,
Yeah.
Joe, what do you think? Do you think they would warm to it one day, or do you think it's just like done, closed forever, forget it, this sort of thing?
There's nothing in wrestling that I'm willing to just be like, yeah, done, never gonna happen. I mean, wrestling's a ridiculous thing altogether.
It is.
I think the Kenny singles match is. I think that's pretty feasible. I'm not saying it's even likely. I just think I can see it. I think the trios thing feels like a fucking disaster. I would not. I think that would end very poorly for all involved. I think Punk and Kenny could absolutely figure. I mean, I think they were trying to figure out on the night of, right? So, like, I think that's all guesswork, but I think that's a lot more likely than the whole, like, feud for the promotion's, future and all that shit that they were trying to do with this trios thing, which I never seemed likely to me. I think it's just a straight up Punk Kenny deal. That's big business. I think it'd be a great match. I think that may happen. I'm not saying it will, but I think it might. So that's where I'm at personally.
Manny, you
no way it happens. Matt Jackson's still scared of Bryan Danielson and Roderick Strong.
The ROH.
He's scared of CM Punk.
All right. Yeah.
My thing has always been like.
Manny worked Roddy into this conversation. That's incredible. Carry on, Mone.
You got to shout out the legends, bro. Someone's got to do it. Someone's got to shout out Roddy. Fucking hell,
Yeah.
He never gets his credit. Look at the cage match, Numbers speak for themselves, babe. We just talked for 20 minutes about Roddy Strong, though. Free him.
When in doubt, look at cage match.
Always, we got a quick super chat. Trust the Process 34, 1999. Appreciate you very much. The entitlement from fans who think they're owed an apology from Punk is insane. Why? The only people that owed an apology are those involved. People living vicariously through the Elite and demanding a public apology is just weird. I do tend to agree, to be honest.
Yeah.
Well,
as the resident Elite fan, I will tell you there's some people that have been fucking weird about all of this. So
yeah, because it's not like, I mean, again, I understand that ultimately Punk made it our business by doing it at the press conference, but it still isn't. Like, we only know what we're being given at this point, and we've been given an awful lot. Sure, we certainly are been getting a lot. I mean, we have an update every week at this point, every day. Scratch that. But ultimately, I agree. It's up to them to figure out as adults.
Yeah.
I cannot be putting my head on the pillow at night and thinking, "Fuck, I really hope Punk apologizes to them." I mean, I haven't got a lot going on in my life, but I've got enough to not want to apologize from CM Punk. Like, it's okay. You can talk to the other guys. That's fine. But they got to figure that out for themselves.
I just don't get involved in grown men's business. That ain't nothing to do with me.
Antonio Conte, $2. The Elite, thank you for the seasonal. Yeah, man.
That's all about problems I've got that I don't want to get into, and not tonight.
Not that guy. We always get the football people popping up in here, man. I've had Lampard, I've had Todd Bowley, I've had fucking... I'm waiting for Julian Nagelsmann to pop up one day. That's the one I'm waiting for. Anyway, enough football. Back to what the fuck? That was so quiet. I caught what you said.
I didn't even hear what you said.
Okay, kind of staying on a similar subject. Kenny, it was clarified by Dave Meltzer earlier. Last night on Wrestling Observer Radio, we talked about it yesterday. Kenny Omega is still in negotiations for his contract renewal with AEW. It's pretty much what we were saying yesterday, to be honest. It's like he hasn't signed, but like the talks are going on. The impression I've had is that the Bucks seem to be a little bit further along than Kenny, which is kind of interesting. But that's not something that's been like reported and spread around. That's just kind of Chinese whispers, whatever you want to call it, But yeah, Kenny Omega's still in negotiations. This was also noted in the Fightful Select report when talking about, the Elite not being so keen about working with Punk and stuff like that. He was like, it is worth noting that these people are in contract negotiations. Charlie just mentioned it when we were talking about it, so it is relevant, but, we did talk about it quite a lot yesterday. Joe, you weren't around. Do you think Kenny Omega leaving was ever like a real thing?
I was definitely always in the position of like very much believe it when I see it. I think it would be a surprise, and I still do. I do think, in terms of Kenny, I think his situation is different to the Bucks, because my understanding of the Bucks has been that once they finish their New Japan run, I don't think they're rushing to be working anything close to like regular New Japan again, right? Like, I don't think that's saying that. I definitely think Kenny, is willing to like look into the idea of having like a big match contract with New Japan, you know, which is different. And he certainly has the value to make that worth everyone's while.
Yeah.
So
100%.
that's to me, that was always more of a factor than WWE, to be honest. I know there was a lot of buzz about it, but I always took it as kind of just being, you know, try and get the price up there. And that's what you should do. I mean, that's part of it. And there's all these different stories going on. Very much believe when I see it. I'd imagine that all parties will be re-signing before long. That's my personal guess.
Look at we get all these Ibu law, bro. Look at this Dax Harwood parody, you know, just to specify. Five, just in case, you know, $5. Me and Ibu are going to celebrate in my hotel room when Punk comes back. Back off a bit. Back off Ricky. Ibu's mine.
I like that. Like they do the shoot name thing, and but still, it's like I want to make sure they pop for this bit, so I got to put Dax in there. I've got to put the work name too. You know, yeah. I respect that.
The picture don't give it enough. You know,
yeah, exactly.
Showtime Spurs $20. This is for Joe, who suffered as a fellow Tottenham fan this season.
Yeah, I'm not.
Don't want to talk about it, do you, Joe?
No, I don't. I think Charlie's an Arsenal fan, right? And that's not where I want. It's not where I want to be at this point in the game. You know? I know what hills to die on. I'm just gonna let it be. But I appreciate it very much. Yes, very bad.
Yeah, we do appreciate your Showtime. But yeah, man, Kenny Omega, I don't really see him going anywhere, to be honest. It's also worth noting that obviously, because of his injury time, Tony was obviously well within his right to add extra time onto the contract to make up for it. And it looks like that kind of time will run out around the end of this year. November, December time was the speculative guess, you know, but it seems to make sense. So it is contract season, so we are going to be hearing a lot more stuff, you know, whether that's Drew, whether that's Seth, whether that's Kenny, whether that's the Bucks, whether that's obviously Jay White's just been signed, but, you know, he was a hot topic for a minute. There's all kinds of people, man. Still at the top. Where's Mercedes actually going to end up? Like, most would assume WWE, but it's like,
yeah, I'm not sure about that anymore.
You know what thing is with Mercedes, bro? It's like she didn't show up in January, and it's like I'm not the big fleet stan, and it's like, oh, I love AEW, fuck WWE. Like I do enjoy both companies, you know. Funnily enough, I'm one of those weird people. But fucking, when, you know how like everyone was so fired up for Mercedes show up on that January day? Was it January, the LA show? Everyone was so fired up for it, and everyone was pushing for it. Everyone was fantasy booking it. Everyone, no, AEW fans would not shut the fuck up about Mercedes, you know? One sec. What the fuck is going on in the live chat right now? Let me get rid of this fucker. Anyway. Where was I, man? I've lost it.
Everyone was excited about the LA show.
Yeah, everyone was excited about the LA show. Everyone was pushing really hard for, like, you know, almost pressuring Tony to make sure it gets done, you know, like the fans online as they do. And she didn't show up, and it's like everyone just fucking give up, bro. It's like, she ain't gone back to WWE yet, man. Still...
Who do you mean give up? Like the fans?
They just stopped talking about the idea of her going to AEW. Like, everyone's just like, all right, well, she's gonna do what she's doing in Japan and then fuck off back to WWE. And I'm like,
you're proving Tony right, man. These people
she's
are
having the
proving
time
Tony
of her
right.
life right now. Like,
that's the thing. It's like, I don't think you can look at either division and think, you know, like, man, they're really convincing with the way they're doing this women's division right now, right? Like, I mean, WWE's obviously is different because she has a familiarity there, and that means both good and bad things. Let's be clear. But you know, there's like, there's a slot you can easily put her in, but the AEW angle. The AEW angle that it appeared she was going to be a part of in January hasn't progressed since then. So I don't know. It's tough. What's happening?
Ibu wants a link. Ibu, I'm only sending you the link if you drop a scoop. That's where.
I'd escape this. Damn. Isn't he meant to be at work?
He's probably at work. That's the worst thing. Charlie, was you there that time after a podcast when he was at work and he was moving something around?
Yeah.
And he kept making these noises, bro. Like he was lifting up heavy pallets, and every 30 seconds you just hear, And he was like, bro, are you okay? And he was
We were
like,
just trying to have a conversation. Every now and then it was like just going off in the background. It's like, all right.
The voice tweet gimmick he did
Very
the other night where he closed with, I think I'm ready to dance again. I was like, fuck, you got me with that.
I didn't listen to it.
I was like, listen to this is, this is a pretty good bit. And then when he closed it, I said, that was good. I've got to give him that. That was good.
I got to like June 21st in the voice thing, and I was just like, you know what, I'm not, fuck off, whatever, I don't care.
Here he is.
Oh,
there
he
big
is.
man. Make sure we mess around with this layout. There we go, we got the squares. Ibu, you sound like you're on your way to work, but you can't miss the Rest of Fury's podcast, can you?
What's up?
What's up?
How's it going, everybody?
We're good, bro. We're good.
Good.
We're good.
Yeah, man, I found a free couple minutes. Wanted to pass by.
Right.
Monty says I have to drop a scoop to be here. A lot of the scoops that I would have, I'm not allowed to relay yet. So I'll try to find the most mild one and say to everyone in the chat, can I get you guys to promise me not to tweet about this? Can we? I'm looking
sure.
for.
I'm sure that will go swimmingly. Yeah,
can you guys like not tweet about this? Like, is the WrestlePeers Galaxy that trusted?
Well, we're about to find out, I think.
Yeah, right.
We're rolling the dice.
All right. Phil would happily work Bill Goldberg. Phil would happily work Bill Goldberg.
Real wrestling, that is.
Phil isn't super keen on working Chris Jericho, but it's not his call; it's the boss's call.
No, really? What a surprise!
Yeah, right. He's actually slightly more obedient to boss directions than you would think, because his general thing when it comes to booking is, that sounds bad, but is that really what you want me to do? And it's like, yeah. It's like, all right. So that's it. There's not going to be a hard brand split for AEW. People are misinterpreting that. There's not a hard and fast brand split. Tony's trying to figure out who is willing to be around who, and that's the situation there.
I'm sure it's not going to end in tears or anything like that, you know?
Yeah, right.
Nothing can go wrong.
There allegedly will not be WWE releases happening soon. That's
allegedly. Allegedly. According,
Yeah, I can't.
People who wouldn't want that going around anyway.
Yeah.
It's people saying what you'd expect them to say, you know?
No. To be honest, the person claiming this, when there are releases coming, is just like, yeah, we're doing cuts. Like, just completely soullessly. It's like, yeah, we're just doing cuts. Like, he doesn't give a shit. The other one, I can't say this one. People are going to tweet about this one. Let me go to the next one. Niggas are going to tweet about this one. It is what it is. Like, this one's too big. Phil will work, he'll work the young guys. What's up?
He will work. Yep.
Sure. Yeah. Sure. What else? What else do I got for you guys? Yeah, those are probably the only ones I could probably let out publicly. And we'll probably leave it at that. What did she say?
The way he screams Phil at the start.
We got to talk about this Phil situation.
What happened?
We got to have a talk. The other day we were talking about something, and Ibu he dropped the Phil on me, and I thought it was about our friend Phil Lindsay, and was like, "Whoa, what's going on here?"
Ibu's walking in a fucking rainstorm right now, bro.
Yeah, man.
It's in a fucking tunnel. Like,
actually, you know what? I have something that refutes Meltzer's thing from the morning.
Wow, he was just saying things earlier, bro.
Yeah, So CMFTR are not trying to force the Elite out of the company at all. Tony Khan wants CM Punk back in because he's invested a lot of money You know, there's going to be some WBD upfronts coming up soon. And so he just wants him back. And, you know, Punk and FTR want to be back, and they want to work the Elite. And it disappoints.
I get the live chat, man. All right, so when you said Phil will work, who was you talking about? Because it cut out and everyone.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, so you just said Phil will
that's
work.
why I made the joke.
Oh,
and then you just moved on. I was like, okay.
He'll work anyone Tony asks him to, except probably like this is now not a report. This is me doing my own personal interpretation. I think the only no on his list is Hangman Page. I think that's the only hard
and that is speculation. People.
This is not a report.
I wouldn't want to work him either.
This is not a report.
Manny.
Yeah.
You said nothing for 5 minutes. Rob, you want a link, but I'm not doing it today, brother. We've got 30 minutes till Ring of Honor, and I've still got to hold on. I want to review. I've got Ibu here fucking dropping scoops. So, brother, not tonight. You've got on Purist tomorrow. You can cook there as long as you want, you know?
The thing is also, Phil is trying to do this, like, puffed out chest, like, I'm not a pussy. I'll work anybody. So even as I'm saying this, I feel like if Tony was like, I really needed to work Hangman, just to pull his cock out, he'll be like, all right. I don't give a fuck. I'm not afraid of anybody. You know?
Oh, I don't know, man. Because Hangman would get all weird with it as well. So
what do you say?
Hangman would get all weird with it as well, man.
I don't think it should happen.
Yeah, neither do
I. We saw how well it went the first time, so I'm not sure we need to see it again.
We got Ibu's little scoops out of him. You know, we've used and abused him. All right, back to Super Chats. Mouthson 84. $4.99. After getting a good grasp on Manny's taste on this platform, better job than me. I'm certain he will be disappointed with Punk within a year and we'll bury him on here. Nah, he couldn't do it, bro. Nah, it's Ring of Honor, bro.
Monty, we're like one headline away from Hooper just fucking just wiping his hands a bit, moving on. He's an animal, man. He doesn't no rest for the wicked, you know.
He's a sick man. Cody. $1.99. Appreciate you. Evening, folks. Have I missed a Rebellion preview? Yeah, we done it earlier, bro. Just the process. 34. $4.99. Appreciate you again. Does Manny have any response to Seahawk allegation towards him, and does Wrestle Purists have any official statement themselves on the matter?
No, we don't.
No, not really. You know.
No, we don't.
not for a big podcast, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk, you know. But right. AEW Dynamite.
Mm-hmm. I thought Swerve versus Darby was fantastic.
It was, and that's what we opened the show with. He'd be diving ahead here. Right, Swerve versus Darby, good shit. Everyone knew it was going to be good shit when it was announced. Everyone who's kind of followed either of these guys would know that they've got really good chemistry with each other. It's not like this is the first time they've done this. Yeah, it was a really great opener, followed up by MJF coming out, and then he goes back and forth with Darby, and that then introduces the return of Sting. Sting then goes back and forth with MJF, and, you know, it was all good shit, man. Everyone was happy to see Sting. The match was great. MJF, you know, he was the foil for, you know, Sting coming back and Darby to get his shit off. I thought Darby came across really good in it. And it's just always nice to see Sting, you know. Joe? Mm-hmm. What did you think of this opening 30 minutes or however long it was?
It was excellent. I think this Swerve Darby match, and I'm told there was some, like, you know, debating the result, but I actually think this is kind of a blueprint of the kind of match Tony should do more. You know, I think Swerve benefited from having a match of this quality on TV because it's been a while, not because he hasn't delivered, because he hasn't had, you know, a chance to have real matches like this for a long time. I actually thought it was noticeable. Swerve's entrance, like, you can definitely tell that it's been a quiet few months for that character, right? The response he didn't get almost. I think he benefited from being out there, even though he didn't get the win. Like, I mean, I thought this match was terrific, and I think more of this kind of matchmaking. Losses are not going to hurt a guy like Swerve, who's on the climb himself. I'm not sure about Mogul Embassy. I'm not so sure about that, but, you know, we'll see. And I loved it. I mean, these guys have a great dynamic. I thought it was
Joe, I want to say I totally disagree with you. I think Swerve would have benefited from being on Rampage, working Tony Nese and winning. I think that would have been much more beneficial to his standing on the roster. Yeah. I think we need more matches like that on Battle of the Belts, specifically shows like that. Maybe get some W's on Dark. Working another star in a great match and losing is not the way to book a guy. I think what they should do is work 3-minute matches where he can win over lesser guys in lesser shows. This is the way, Joe.
I'm glad you educated me on that. It's a good call. You have to rethink things a little bit.
Lost his damn mind, Charlie, what did you think of the opening for?
I thought the match was really fucking good. Like, the Poison Rana on the outside, it was like, when they were setting up for it, I was just like, there's no way they're actually going to do this. And then
you remembered who it was,
And then I was just like, okay, it's Darby and Swerve. Like, I would say the Right Person won, just because the programs they're associated with right now, you can't have Darby taking a pin. Like, even a fucked pin, I don't think he can be taking it right now. But the discourse on Twitter over that was really just, I don't get it. It's whatever. Swerve's not less of a character because he took a loss from Darby Allin, who's incredibly over. Like,
and in a world title feud.
Like the promo stuff, Sting's great. I love Sting. Him coming out was a huge pop for me. The pom-poms made me laugh a lot as well. The fact that he just had those in his pocket.
He had like 6 of them. It's like, what the fuck's happening?
The reference to Cody just made me laugh. MJF was MJF. Darby was pretty good on the mic here. Yeah, pretty good. Probably the best segment of the build so far.
This feels like the program, right? And I know why they wanted the Pillars thing. And I know that it's kind of cute on like a branding level, but this is clearly the actual feud. And I think it would be better off for it being just the sole focus here. That's just
Manny's finally touched on.
Before we delve into what Joe just said, because I think he made a very interesting point. I have a question for everybody here.
Hurry up.
For what Darby is as a performer and what his skill set is, does he have any flaws in his entire game?
No, he's very special. Yeah, I think he's one of the most consistent wrestlers in the world too. I think unbelievable.
I think in terms of what his build is, his size, his dynamic, his gimmick, his presentation, how he speaks specifically, I don't think there's any hole in his entire game or presentation. I think I don't know if he's not the best wrestler in the world, but I think he's like a perfect wrestler.
Yeah, I agree.
He's great, man. He's definitely up there. Or if he's not the best wrestler, he's absolutely up there. I think I'd put him in more like top. In 15? In America, I'd probably put him in like my top 8 or something.
He's better than a lot of highly regarded guys.
He is, yeah, I agree.
Bro, he is special. So, but yeah, Darby is the man. Next up, I think me and Joe were debating this. I think there was a Jay White promo with Juice Robinson. It definitely happened on this show. It's just where did it happen, But Jay White, Juice Robinson, they cut a promo on Ricky Starks, pre-tape, 30 seconds. Personally, for me, when you get a signing like fucking Jay White, someone who's main evented the Dome twice, I think. Former IWGP champion, former fucking former all. What is it? What did they call it in Japan when you win all the titles? Grand Slam. That's the one. That's the one. He was
the Japan exclusive.
I think they call it. I think they call it something else. I think.
Okay. All right.
Anyway, Jay White was the first Grand Slam champion in fucking New Japan. The point is, he's a fucking big deal. You signed him last week, and it's all for you follow up the next week to be a 30-second pre-tape. It's not really capitalising, is it, Joe?
No, I agree. I mean, I think he's a big time player, and I while I like that he got a chance to talk, I think he's a very good promo. This is not where I'll be going, and Bullet Club Gold concerns me as that seems That sounds dangerous, you know.
I was actually just about to say, Joe, Bullet Club Gold is where I bow out of this fucking podcast because
all right, man.
yeah. Many blessings to you. Best of luck to Jay White. That's scary, like Joe said. And if I speak, you know, if I speak, take care, everybody. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of the podcast. Have a good one.
Bye.
Yeah, man. There he is. Let's get him out of there. There we go. Okay. Yeah. Hopefully, Jay White can get. We want him feuding Punk.
That's what we've decided.
They called them. He referred to them as like I think he said duo at one point, and I was like, oh my god. I mean,
yeah.
I know they need teams, but this is not. I wouldn't do that with Jay White personally. I mean,
yeah, it was quite scary. It wasn't long, but it was quite scary.
This is the sort of shit that I love. So.
Well, that's fair enough. I mean,
I'm a big Bullet Club person.
I'm not even the Bullet Club part of it's not even my main concern. It's more like bless Juice Robinson, you know. But like he on this TV show, he's not very important on this show previously. Now maybe they want to change, and if they do, I mean fair enough. But it's like to me, if you want to present Jay White as the big signing that he is, I think immediately slotting him into like the pre-tape formula, you know, and having him in that rotation with Juice, it was like I don't know. I think you could have given this a lot more pomp and circumstance considering how biggest, because we all agree Jay White is like a massive signing, right?
Yeah.
And I think you could have probably captured that better here with a follow-up, but we'll see what they do next.
We'll see what they do.
I think they're waiting on some stuff, like with stuff that's going on in New Japan at the moment, because anyone that followed like the New Japan Cup and all that, like ELP's just been kicked out of Bullet Club. So there's a strong chance that El Phantasmo, like post Forbidden Door, could be turning up in AEW. Because if you look at like his contract, well, we obviously can't look at his contract, but when he signed with New Japan, it's like due to come up this year.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that would make more. I mean, that would make more sense because when it's just the two of them, you immediately assume they're like a team, and it's kind of that's a bizarre spot, right? If you can flesh it out, I mean, that makes some sense. We'll see. I mean, I'm not going to write it off because Jay White is a terrific talent. I have concerns about the phrase Bullet Club Gold is very scary. Very, very NWO shock, you know.
Spooky, very spooky. All right, so next we had an open challenge. Powerhouse Hobbs, who's got a new car off the QTV guys. He was taking on the hometown hero, Silas Young. He got popped, man. But he got squashed. He got squashed like a bug. He caught me by surprise, to be honest. I thought they were gonna have like a tidy 6, you know.
So did I.
And yeah, man. Hobbs just ran him over. Then they did an angle after the match there. Wardlow destroys Powerhouse Hobbs' new his new ride, man, and then Wardlow comes out to start brawling. Hobbs and Wardlow going at it. Then the QTV guys get involved. Wardlow powerbombs Aaron Solo off the stage and fucking kills him. That was some scary shit, bro. But yeah, man. Wardlow back in the TNT title picture. Back after Hobbs. I mean, anyone got anything to add?
I've only got a few more of these left in me, man. I
can't. It's just going to make Wardlow look worse when he loses again next week. You need to get them away from each other for like at least 6 months. Please, for the love of God, stop.
I will say though, this was peak Tony Khan in that like the car got both introduced and destroyed within like 4 minutes, you know? Like he just had the idea, like, let's just, let's do this. And it's like, as soon as you saw the car, if you've watched any episode of AEW Dynamite before, you was like, well, this is not going to last. This is going to be dead within minutes. And it was quite the deal. So yeah, that was cute, I guess. I don't know. Hopefully the match is good enough that it gives Wardlow some steam in defeat. And that's really all you can hope for at this point, because I don't think anyone wants Wardlow to win that match, right? I think even if you're a big fan, you don't want him to get that fucking belt back. We've seen that we've done that already. So.
Manny tweeted yesterday like is Wardlow the only person in the TNT division?
Honestly,
he might be.
What are we doing?
We're going to talk
Enough
about we're going to talk about Orange Cassidy, but it's like that belt now feels like what the TNT title was previously. It's like it's bizarre. The TNT title was in a very strange place. I mean, I'm enjoying Hobbs. The matches he had on Rampage were fun. It's just now we're back to Wardlow, so I don't know.
Wardlow, interesting. I've got more ideas.
Yeah,
Listen,
I know.
You know,
He beats everyone.
I forgot. Nah. Listen, I can get creative, brother. I can get creative. I don't do the fantasy booking thing and threads and stuff. It's not my game. Listen, I might drop some on the late night grin one day. All right. So next up, Orange Cassidy versus Buddy Matthews of House of Black for the AEW International Championship. Bud Matt, man, he's keeping up this form, bro. He's keeping up the form, in my opinion. The past few outings before this, I was like, he's rewinding the clock, coming back to the 205 live days. He's bumping on his head again. He's fucking, he's looking sharp out there, and he kept the trend going. Maybe one of his best performances in AEW last night. I thought,
sure.
I thought he worked really well. He looked really sharp, as I said. It's just Orange is just like so good. Like he's just so good at having matches with like just kind of pretty much anyone. In terms of like, he's not going to have like a match of the year contender, even though he actually did last year with Will Ospreay, in most people's opinions. But he's going to have like really good matches all the time. Do you know what I mean? And he's going to he's going to work his way very well into everyone's different styles. Which is like because he's so unique as well. That's even more impressive. But I thought it was good. Charlie, what was you thinking?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it quite a lot. I think Buddy Matthews is, like you said, this is the best he's looked in a long time now. Don't really have much more to say that. Other than it kind of took me by surprise a little bit that they did so much work on the hand. But I guess with the orange punch, it makes sense. Yeah, it was good shit. I was just like, they've really gone in on this. Like,
yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited for whoever Orange Cassidy faces next, because outside of AEW, it's Gabriel Kidd, and that's a match I'm looking forward to.
That'll be a good one.
After that, it's like there's still so much you can do with it, and like it doesn't feel stale yet, to me at least, anyways.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Manny, you've always been a Bud Matt believer with me, myself, and Joe. What do you think, man? What did you think of last night?
It's very great to see a late night Grand sponsored athlete go out there and show the world what he can do. I knew he had it in him. People kept questioning him, and I said, let him lose a couple pounds, that muscle mass, and he'll come out there looking nice, lean, take some head bumps, just he's gonna go out there and kill it. And that's what he did with the Orange. I was convinced he was gonna win halfway through, and I said, holy shit, he might do it. And I had an Australian flag in my Amazon cart ready to go. He didn't get it done.
The £100 Nigel shirt is still like one of
that's
the best.
Crazy.
Bro, I'm so mad because it's like it doesn't even fit me. It's like so now I just have it.
It's memorabilia.
Just bring it.
He's gonna go get it, isn't he?
Yeah.
That's exactly what he's doing.
Where he's going.
So while Manny does that, I'm gonna quickly fly through some super chats. Ricky Starks again. That's how I would parody. You can keep my Ibu after I'll go join Cody in the Fed. Darren Walker, £5. Appreciate you again. Only flaws Darby got is the crazy stuff he does outside the ring.
That makes it
no comment, but fair, very fair. Hold on, let me pull this super chat down. I'll get back to you, Darren Walker. That's some good shit. Hold on, man. Stay right there. Stay there. Stay. Here we go. Cooking. Screenshot, people. Screenshot. This is the new WrestlePurist logo.
Yeah.
It was an owner on me that as soon as I got this, it didn't fit me. So then I had to go on Pro Wrestling Tees and get one of his newer shirts.
Fair.
And the sale was over. Vintage.
That is pretty awesome.
That's some good. It is good, man. But it's just as soon as Nigel gets signed, Manny logs onto eBay and buys $100 Nigel McGuinness.
I'm gonna hang it in the Raptors like a jersey, just like that. Man.
That's good shit. Yeah,
It's good shit, man. It's Nigel, man. You can get away with it. Darren Walker, all right, back to this one. £5 again, appreciate you. Only good thing about QTV is Harley Cameron. What a woman. Listen, man, the fans are into it. Another one from Darren. Appreciate you again. Buddy is a genius. He carried an outlaw mud show wrestler to a decent match. Darren's always spiteful about Orange, man. Yeah, he's not a fan. He's not a fan. He's good, man. You just gotta see the light, Darren. You just gotta get over the what you see on the surface. You'll come round. Short-term Spurs, $5. Buddy just needed a
year of bed into the
What
squad.
does that? What's that?
Buddy just needed a year.
Yeah. I was like, what is? Buddy just needed a year.
Trying to help him.
What's happening right now? Short-term Spurs, $5. Buddy just needed a year to bed into the squad. House of Black are one of the best parts of Dynamite recently. I am glad they all stuck around.
Yes.
Yeah, man, I am a fan of House of Black. Always have been.
Always.
What's that even mean?
What part?
What do you mean? What part?
The pterodactyl bed.
Oh, not this. You don't, man. Moving on. He's all right, $5. With recent news, will there be a Wrestle Purist roster split available to talent that don't want to be involved with the discourse? So here's the thing. As you can evidently see right now, even though he was just on, Ibu is moving to Sundays. I don't know if it's going to start this Sunday, but because of changes to his work and life schedule, he's no longer free on the Thursdays. As you could tell, he was on his way somewhere when he popped in for 10 minutes just now.
Wait, there's going to be a Sunday podcast?
Wrestle Purist Collision. Have you not
there's going to be a Sunday podcast where Ibu. I feel like Ibu is strategically, he wants to do the collision. He wants to do the AEW collision review show on Sundays. The punk show.
Yeah,
where he refers to CM Punk as Phil 30 times every week.
Give genuine focus to that. That's very good. That's good performance. I respect that very much. That's good shit.
Yeah, he's good shit. All right, moving on with Dynamite. Let's try to get this wrapped up because there isn't actually loads of stuff on the show. To be fair, because the segments kind of went longer than usual. Like with Dynamite, it's usually like fucking 30 segments. Everything gets 45 seconds, and you bamboozled 45 minutes in. But this one, to be fair, overall, I thought the show was paced. It's pretty alright, It weren't. It used to be something that really nauseated me with AEW.
Definitely changed.
When I used to watch the shows and feel like I'm struggling to keep up if you look down at your phone for 2 seconds,
Yep.
Alright, so next up we had an Ethan Page promo. He's cutting a promo about the firm and how Matt Hardy fucked him over last week, and then he calls Matt Hardy out to to explain himself. And Matt Hardy hilariously fucked up his promo. and he said in his contract he wrote that if he lost the hook that him and Cassidy would be free, and then said that they're going to have a match with Ethan Page, and if they win, the free. So I think what he meant to say was that if Hook wins, then they get a match with Ethan Page, and then. But either way, that's dumb anyway. Because if you're gonna fix the contract, you're gonna fix the contract.
He was a little bit all over the place.
But anyway, this happens, and
look, man, this is all good and great, man. Let me tell you, man. I'm sorry, Monty. The greatest thing that ever happened on Dynamite happened during this segment. Freaking Hook and Big Bill went there cooking for that 10 seconds. I don't know if you guys saw it.
Yeah.
That was incredible. Did you see Hook was doing some body shots and Big Cass was jumping for every body shot?
I love Hook's body shots, man. He does all the suplexes and all the cool shit, but I think that might be my favourite thing that he does when he just tees off on the body shots in the corner. But yeah, this all
magic.
This all spilled out into a big brawl, and Matt Hardy and Cassidy are getting outnumbered. Hook obviously comes out, as Manny mentioned, to try and make the save, but he gets outnumbered as well. And none other than Jeff, brother Nero, Hardy, makes his return to AEW. He makes a save. He's got a chair with his face painted on it. And he takes everyone out. He hits pretty nice swanton. And to be honest, he looked pretty good, man. But obviously, it's it's obviously going to be quite divisive. I think that's the right word. Divisive, controversial. Jeff Hardy with the reason why he was away with him. He got hit with the DUI. It's not the first time that he's had like problems with substances, and some people are just kind of like, I've given him too many chances as a fan, and I'm sick of him. Which is very fair. And also, some people are like, it's Jeff Hardy, man. Fuck it, But hopefully, I said yesterday, man. Like being a Jeff Hardy fan for like pretty much all my life, it's definitely been a journey that he's took us on, and hopefully he's all good. And like I said yesterday, again, hopefully he just gets to write a respectable ending to his career, because, like I said, it's been a journey. it's been a fucking journey. Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Talk Jeff Hardy for a minute.
Yeah, I think the only real take to have at this point is like, you just hope it pans out well, right? You hope it's what you said, and you hope it's a happy end to his wrestling story. In terms of the decision to have him back on, like, it's so hard to comment on that with any kind of understanding of the situation. Like, it would be foolish to sit here and be like, I think they should do this or that with Jeff Hardy. I don't know, and the reality is, if Jeff wants to wrestle, be it AEW, WWE, or somewhere in between, he's going to wrestle. Someone will book Jeff Hardy until the end of time. So, like, I think, the idea of, like, you wipe your hands of him, that's not really going to change anything. I hope for the best for him. I mean, I've never been a big, like, Jeff Hardy fan, and I certainly don't think the way that he was used in these first couple months in AEW, I thought was a misread by Tony.
Yeah, we spoke about it yesterday.
I thought it was ridiculous, but people love Jeff. He's a legend. He's one of the most popular wrestlers of the generation, and I'm rooting for him because I think that's the only logical thing to do. I mean, I don't see any point in like in doing anything but that, honestly, because I don't know the situation. I do hope. I will say, I really do hope that everyone around him is like trying their best to actually monitor the situation, because that was the thing that did upset me the last time around. And I don't want to get into this too long because ultimately I'm happy the guy's back, but a lot of stuff went on when he was first in AEW, and there were certain reports out there and some people talking about this, that, and the next thing, and it felt like people were looking the other way on it, and it was very frustrating, because you could kind of see this situation coming. I remember WrestleMania weekend last year; it was clear that Jeff wasn't in his best way, and he was on Dynamite the next Wednesday, and you kind of sat there and was like, there's bigger things than whether he can wrestle on Wednesday, So I just hope everyone's, monitoring it and looking after the guy, and hopefully he can finish this thing in style, man. He's been a big-time star, a beloved wrestler, and I'm rooting for him ultimately.
Yeah. Good luck to him,
Yeah.
Good luck to him. Anyone, Mone, Charlie, anything to add real quick?
Just hope he's healthy and happy, pretty much.
Yeah. Besides that, Jeff Hardy should be arrested for what he did to Lee Moriarty, man. Throwing the chair to his face and then hitting him with that brutal swanton. Come on, bro. You're on live TV.
The chair did pop me, because it's just like, it's so like Jeff, like just do some random bullshit like that. All right, so next we had like a Kenny Omega sit down promo where he's like, he's looking dead at the camera. The setting's very like they're really trying to go for that like real feel,
Yeah.
And it's like Kenny Omega, it's personal now, it's like a mission statement, and they're gonna deal with this Blackpool Combat Club problem, You can't put your hands on Don and get away with it. you can't be putting hands on Mr. Don Callis and getting away with it round Kenny. But yeah, like I said, it was just kind of Charlie, the elite law specialist. Right, someone's.
It was just Kenny being very serious about the situation. I half focused on this promo because I noticed right at the very beginning, I don't know if you guys remember this, but the portrait of him and Tom Callis from like 2021, I noticed that right at the beginning, and most of the promo went straight over my head because I could not stop laughing at that being in the background of this very serious promo. But it definitely felt like they were trying to make you believe that he wasn't going to be at Dynamite. That's the read I got off it, but as we all saw, not 10 minutes later, that's not quite how it went.
Yeah, definitely. Because next up we had Blackpool Combat Club. It was scheduled for a match with Brandon Cutler and Nakazawa. Obviously, this was a pretty violent squash. Referee stoppage. Didn't even need to see a pin or a submission. They were just beating the shit out of them, and the refs in enough. Nakazawa and Cutler both bladed because, of course, they did.
Of course they did. It was great.
It was a beatdown, man. And then Kenny Omega comes out, as Charlie said. They were trying to kind of lead your mind away from that, but Kenny's music hits, and he comes out, and he's like coming to the ring, but he's like hesitating, you know.
Yeah.
And so that's when that's when the light bulb goes off. It's like, okay, he's baiting him, you know.
Yeah.
And that's what he does. He baits Moxley out, and then the Bucks show up behind as well. They hit the super kicks, and then, and they do the beatdown, and they try to return the favour with Moxley and the screwdriver. Mox gets out of the way. The screwdriver ends up stuck in the turnbuckle. Attempted murder live on television.
That's a callback to Full Gear 2019? 2020? One of them. The match that Mox and Kenny had.
2019.
Listen, yeah, someone's got to know it. Someone's got to know it.
Charlie's got Charlie's got the book, you know.
That's why Charlie's paid the big bucks, you know. That's the way it is. This is the best thing in AEW by like a mile. And I'm not a law expert by any means, which is why I'm not paid the big bucks. But this was a hell of an angle. I know that much for sure. The reaction for the Bucks getting in there, Moxley was full Terry Funk cosplay here, and that's a compliment. He was stumbling in every which way. He was up to his old tricks. He was really something. I thought he was tremendous throughout as just being a dick. And Claudio's loving this run, and I thought this was great. I thought this was the best angle of the whole feud thus far, and I think there's been a lot of them. I think this thing's really, really come together nicely, and I'm intrigued what the end game is. I think, last time Charlie and I were on here, we talked about how we both were expecting Brian and Kenny pretty soon on TV. I think it feels like the pay-per-view match might be Stampede 2, right? Stadium Stampede 2. Anarchy in the Arena, I should say. My bad.
Yeah.
Anarchy in the Arena, not Stadium Stampede. I think Moxley will never do. He'll do Anarchy in the Arena. My apologies, folks. But I think you give the Elite that kind of environment, that could be quite the deal. I think they're going to make the most of that. So lots to like here, but just as an individual angle, I thought was the highlight of the show. I thought was tremendous.
I think they're going to. I'm with you on Anarchy in the Arena thing. I feel like Kenny kind of hinted at it as well. It's like at the start, he's kind of like at first, we decided we was going to settle this in the ring, and you kind of put a bit of emphasis on that. And obviously then he went on to allude that it's now gone past that, So kind of...
He kept saying, like, blood and gore, and I was just like, is he going to say blood and guts? Like, this is what it feels like he was building to in that. I was like, are you hinting at it? Like, what are we doing? Like... I'm excited. I've loved all of this build, obviously. Like, these are my guys. But I thought this week especially, like, the Bucks coming back, like, obviously they hinted at it on BTE, but, like, actually, like, seeing them come back and do the running, it was great. Good show.
Yeah, it is good shit, man. It's good to see. It's always been ever since like the Blackpool Combat Club came together, it was always something that people really wanted to see, and it's just good that they're actually seemingly like, they're heating this up and doing right by it, because we're dealing with some massive stars, and you don't want to waste all these people's time. So it's good so far, so good shit. All right, so next up we had Riho and Sky Blue versus Tony and Ruby.
Monty, I gotta tell you, because you're never gonna rewatch it. when you didn't throw the ball there to the Hooper, bro, he give you a look. You might, I'm gonna be honest with you, Monty. You might need to take his payday away and give it to Charlie and I split. I mean, I don't know, Charlie. You might have seen. I mean, that was disrespectful, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
this is what he gets, bro. You're not punctual. You get skipped on the blunt rotation. You know,
bro. Out of all the matches on the show, this is like the Manny special, and you're just like, no.
I wasn't. I stood in the corner when Buddy and Orange Talk was going on. I let it happen. You know, you have to be a pro sometimes, brother. It is what it is.
All right, we can move on.
Yes, we can.
Manny, if you got any takes that just
don't let him get his own way.
we just keep going.
Is it no? You can do it. No, man, you can do it because I've put on Ring of Honor. You know, we got Ari Daivari, and it's just
Oh well, in that case,
go
on, man.
I love me some Mark Briscoe. It's always great to see, but I've got my.
No, we can just move on. I'm trying to log in a Ring of Honor right now. I can't.
If you want Manny's take on the angle, go to latenightgrin.com. He'll be talking about it in about 2 hours over there. I'll make sure you get your time, Manny. We've got 3 hours to play with over there. But carry on, Monty.
All right, Rio and Squad Blue versus Tony and Ruby. This was just another match, which was it wasn't bad. It wasn't great either. You know, it was just kind of like a tag match in the middle of the show. Well, towards the end of the show, really. And they've done another beatdown, brawl, saves, brawl, fucking angle at the end. That just
every week.
It's like a bit at this point. I was saying it to Joe before we went live. It's like every week I come on here, and we all do it. You know, it's not even just. It's not like it's like I'm the person that says this. It's like fucking every fan says this at this point. Well, the online ones anyway. The fucking sickos like us. Every week it's like, hopefully this week with this match, the Outcasts and the Homegrowns, they do something. They do something creative, and they don't just do like beat down and someone makes a save angle, which they've done literally like 10 times in a row at this point. And then they just do it fucking again. They do it again and again and again. And they've done it this week to set up another tag match for next week, and they're gonna fucking do it again.
We're in April and they've been doing the same thing since January now. It's like, come on. I said it on Twitter. You can't run the angle they did with BCC and the Elite and then put the women straight after.
Yeah.
Because you are exposing how awful their booking is right now, and it's really bad.
It's so hollow. Like, they settled on the idea of, ex-WWE versus Homegrown. It's like, that's it. that's the whole idea, like it's...
Well, if you look, I mean, the BCC thing is kind of the same thing, but then
but they've developed it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they do it. Yeah. But I think that has to do with the guys all involved, not the.
But it shouldn't be though, like it shouldn't be up to like Sky Blue to be like, hey, what if, like, look, like, and that's kind of what I mean is like, you can any feud can be simplified to just its raw idea and ingredients, but you're supposed to with each week develop that idea. This one has been running in the same place for weeks now, and even with the Ruby turn. She just slotted into it and it's the same thing. The worst thing about all of this is I think these matches the women are making the most of their time. Like I thought this match was really fun. They had like 6 minutes where they made the absolute most of it.
It was decent. They always are, I think, for the most part.
Sky is genuinely improving a lot. Like at a really good rate. I think Ruby's obviously helping the outcasts and Tony's always good. And I think there's a lot to like. Obviously Riho. My apologies, folks. That was goes without saying, right? But there's a lot to like about the work bell to bell, but there's no assistance, unfortunately, creatively, and that's been a trend. Yeah. It's a shame.
Well, Joe, did you not see the lore that happened during that match on the post match with Britt Baker?
What, she wore green?
She was wearing green pants.
Yeah. Okay, well, I know Manny's bullshit at this point. So saw that coming from a mile away, ducked it. Right, so here he comes. Manny the Hooper. Look how proud he is of himself. Look at him with his lore. God bless. There you go.
He's all right. Let's talk about this main event.
Do we? Do we have to?
Yeah, man. Interesting stuff, brother. If you're a loser like me, you see these matches, you see Keith Lee putting the main event in a featured match, and your eyes light up, and you're like, this could be interesting, I'm gonna get my scout. I'm gonna get my scouting report out for this one. Keith Lee, man, God bless him, but it's just there's definitely. I just think it's a case of he just needs like the reps. Like there's still like you can still do things, but it's just like throwing him out there for 15 minutes with Jericho, who's not going to be running circles around him and picking up most of the work as he is, because he's a 53-year-old man. I don't think it was like the best way to introduce him back into featured singles matches on the television show.
It was an interesting show.
Yeah, definitely. I just thought. Like I said, the Keith, he did a flip and he did some things and he hit a nice spine buster and shit and he did some things,
They had a match.
They had a match, But like I said, man, my big takeaway is that I don't think Keith's fucked or anything like that, but I do think he needs reps, man. And I hope the people, Tony, backstage haven't seen this and thought, fuck him, like get him reps, man. Like get him out there, fucking put him on Ring of Honor if you have to. Let him go 20 with Mark Briscoe or something. I don't know, like get him the reps, bro.
Yeah,
man.
I don't know.
Mike, bro, Eddie Kingston just compared himself to Arturo Gatti.
Hey, Arturo Gatti won the world title, man. So
he's going up his dukes. You got to box like him all the time and just freaking Eddie Kingston rules. I don't really have much to say about this match.
Different tones of Manny's voice, so tremendous.
Keith Lee tried. Jericho tried, and that little Adam Cole head turn. Was kind of it was a fun Dynamite.
Yeah.
Great breakdown of the main event.
I like Keith Lee a lot, and I agree with your assessment, Monty. It's no big deal. It is what it is, but this was not his finest hour, unfortunately. And it was like I'm not,
I don't want to laugh, but like.
I'm not here to do Jericho propaganda, but there was a couple of times you could see Jericho giving him room to do stuff, and Keith just wasn't. He just wasn't on it, and I don't know why or what that is. He hasn't had a lot of chance to rest with long singles matches. It did feel like they had an 8-minute match and stretched it to 14. The time in between the stuff they were doing was like painful, I thought. And I'm not trying to. It's not like a terrible match. It's just for guys of this caliber, I thought it was pretty thin on ideas and energy. So, Jericho has obviously got faults, but I do think he's very consistent in a spot like this. And hopefully Keith can bounce back with a better performance elsewhere. He's obviously capable of it. Everyone knows what that dude's, able to do, but this was not his finest hour, unfortunately. It is what it is.
Yeah.
You get what you get. Yeah. Charlie, you got anything to add?
Not really. Pretty much nailed it on the head. It was a match. It happened. I thought Jericho selling the Keith Lee moonsaulting onto his knees, like that hurt him as well, even though he got his knees up. I thought that was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there was like little moments where it was just like, okay, they're doing something, and then you'd go into like 30 seconds of nothingness again, and it was like, all right, okay.
God bless.
They got through it.
I have a soft spot for these matches, Two old dudes figuring it out, Getting
they were too. There was a couple of spots where, like, I think it was when Chris he wanted to feed something or other, and he came in with a big clothesline, and Keith just grabbed him and did like a bear hug. I was like, fuck it, I don't know.
There was a split second when Adam Cole came out that I thought he was going to turn on Keith Lee. I was just like, please don't, please don't, please don't.
Yeah. I don't have much good to say about that post-match, but I will say Garcia was fucking hilarious. Did you see how mad he was? He was like so outraged at Adam Cole being out here. He was tremendous. But
Monty, check your DMs real quick.
Oh no!
This is
Not this again.
The Hoopers.
Oh no!
Oh,
the video.
Oh god!
What kind of video? Manning, what are you up to here?
He's sending me videos of problematic politicians.
Oh my god!
Saying that it was Keith Lee, and he's been very spiteful.
I've got to see this Eddie Kingston promo. This looks like it was real great.
Yeah, I know, man. We're gonna get out of here. A couple of super chats just before we bounce. Right, Darren Walker, £2. Appreciate it as always, brother. Who else on with Ibu on Sundays? I think it'll be like a rotating cast. To be honest, it's not 100%. We haven't actually figured out much. Like what I've said on the podcast is basically where we're at with the planning of it. Ibu is now no longer available on Thursdays. He's available on Sundays, so we're going to figure out something. So yeah, keep an eye out for it. Murph YouTube doing a bit, of course, as always. Dumb guy lives, Murph. $4.99. Appreciate him. Punk should be blackballed. People have been fired for worse. I think that was meant to say. Went after 3 innocent men for no reason. Dumb of Tony to go against Moxley, Jericho, and the Young Bucks. Throw Moxley in there as someone like. Moxley's never said that he hates Punk. He just said he didn't say anything really. Yeah, man. Jericho wants to do business, brother. So that's them, and obviously the Young Bucks. I wonder it'd be interesting to know what the Young Bucks is like. The Young Bucks and the Elite's actual stances in terms of do they not want him in the company whatsoever, and that's kind of going to be an awkward thing, or is it just like we don't want him near us?
Yeah. Who knows?
Look at we got people doing beats. Seahawk $4.99. Manny, I see you ducking me. That's not Hooper shit. That's hopeless. Probably needs to be allowed to disrespect. Murph again $1.99. Can I be on Sunday? And by the way, that was not a bit. Well, it was dumb. If you want a bit, it was dumb. Can you be on Sunday, bro? It's gonna be like the Sundays will probably be more like Ibu's podcast on Sundays.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? So fucking. Yeah. Right.
It's Collision, brother.
Yeah,
it really is.
It's gonna, that's what it's probably gonna be. It'll probably be the Saturday review show, but like I said, it's probably gonna start he could start this Sunday. I don't know. Ibu's weird. He's not an organizer like myself. So you get what you get, brother. Right, let's get out of here. Any plugs from anybody?
Yes.
Go ahead, John.
Late Night Grin, 9 Eastern, Manny and I'll be back sharing the screen again. Tonight, in a Wrestle Purist project that crosses over to the Grin, we'll produce our official executive AEW depth charts. I've told Manny to bring a notepad. So if you like seeing Manny scribble loudly while mentioning Roosh, let me tell you, we got a show for you. We got some premium content over there. So latenightgrin.com.
100%. Charlie, Manny, anything to plug real quick?
I recorded a podcast episode with my friend Lyric, Maps on Graps. We talked about Brit wrestling, so if that's something you want to learn more about and our ideas for All In, check that out. Her at's at Lyric Wrestling. She's got it pinned on her profile, and I'll retweet it again on mine.
I'm good, never mind. I'll be on Thursday or Wednesday. Yeah, man. We got you, bro. We got you. All right. Please like, subscribe. We appreciate all the super chats. Please get those likes in. It only takes 2 seconds, and it does go a ways to helping us. But yeah, man. Thanks for watching. Again, like, subscribe, and we'll catch you tomorrow with Unpurist at 6 p.m. Eastern. Peace.